13 seconds. That's how long it took Conor McGregor to knock out the greatest featherweight who ever lived. 7 fights. That's how many wars he survived before his first UFC defeat. And 1 step backward. That's all it took for his own leg to snap in half live in front of millions, ending his career in the worst way possible. And now, 5 years later, he's walking back into the Octagon. The man waiting for him is Max Holloway, the same Max Holloway he beat 13 years ago in just his second ever UFC fight. Except this time, Holloway isn't the underdog. McGregor is. The betting markets have Holloway as a heavy favourite. The man who once called himself the best to ever do it is coming back as the guy nobody expects to win. So how did we get here? How does the fighter who main evented the biggest pay-per-views in UFC history end up an underdog against a man he already beat? That's what this video is about.
My name is Conor McGregor and I live in Lucan. I'm a professional MMA fighter with a record of 4-1.
Start in Dublin 2008. Conor McGregor is just another kid training in boxing and MMA, working regular jobs to survive, telling anyone who'd listen that he was going to be a champion.
I'm an up-and-coming fighter and without a doubt you will see me on the UFC in the near future, without a doubt.
Nobody believed him yet.
I said to my dad when I said, listen, by the time I'm 25 years old, I'm going to be a self-made millionaire, and he laughed at me.
He cut his teeth in Cage Warriors, one of Europe's top promotions, and he didn't just win, a sign of what was coming.
And now, a 2-division CWFC World Champion!
In 2013, the UFC signed him. His debut was against Marcus Brimage. He finished Brimage in the first round and immediately made it clear this wasn't just a fighter, this was a performer who could also fight. His next opponent was Max Holloway.
He came inside the UFC a big way, he finishing a guy like Marcus Brimage, he's on a 3-win streak, and I think he deserves all the hype.
Yes, that Max Holloway. McGregor won by decision, but tore his ACL in the process and had to sit out for months. It's easy to forget that the very first man who tested McGregor was the same man waiting for him 13 years later.
Pressure is an illusion, but I want that illusion of pressure, I heap more on, give me more pressure, so when I put this guy away and make it look easy, which I will do.
When he came back, he ran through Diego Brando in Dublin in front of a roaring home crowd.
It was a clean sweep for the Irish. I said it last year, we're not here to take part, we're here to take over.
Then knocked out Dustin Poirier in the first round at UFC 178, a name that's going to come up again, twice more, later in this story.
Looking to finish the fight. That's it. It's all over. Just like that.
Then came Dennis Siver. McGregor finished him in the second round, but the real headline came after the fight, when he walked into the crowd and stared down the reigning featherweight champion, José Aldo.
I looked him dead in the eye and I said, "Uva moher," which means you will die in his own language.
Aldo had defended his title for nearly a decade. Nobody talked to him like that. McGregor did it anyway. Him versus Aldo was supposed to happen at UFC 189. Then Aldo suffered a rib injury and pulled out just weeks before the event. The UFC turned to Chad Mendes, a 2-time title challenger and elite wrestler who many believed was the toughest matchup in the division. For the first time in his UFC career, McGregor faced real adversity. Mendes took him down repeatedly and forced him into the kind of fight critics said he couldn't win.
Again.
Huge takedown.
4th takedown for Mendes.
But as the second round wore on, Mendes began to slow. McGregor saw his opening, landed a sharp combination, and finished the fight with seconds left in the round. The victory earned McGregor the interim featherweight title and kept his long-awaited showdown with Aldo alive.
I was actually happy to see him. I shook his hand, I embraced him, I gave him a little cuddle, I told him everything's going to be A-OK.
The fight was finally booked for UFC 194. The trash talk was relentless.
It will be over before you know it. Just please show up December 12th.
McGregor said Aldo was scared of him. Almost nobody believed he'd be proven right. It lasted 13 seconds.
Just slapped him! Is the new
Aldo charged forward, McGregor timed a single left hand, and the most dominant featherweight in UFC history was unconscious on the canvas before the crowd even processed what happened. That 13-second knockout is the famous part. What most people don't remember is what happened immediately after, because instead of defending that title, McGregor went looking for a second one. In 2016, McGregor moved up to lightweight to challenge Rafael dos Anjos. Days before the fight, dos Anjos got injured and pulled out. The UFC needed a replacement on short notice, and they found one. Diaz wasn't supposed to be a problem. McGregor was coming off the Aldo knockout, looked unstoppable, and most people expected a formality. Instead, McGregor gassed in the second round, Diaz took over and finished him with a rear naked choke.
You know, it's a bitter pill to swallow.
His first UFC loss. And it happened on short notice against a guy who said yes on 2 weeks' notice. McGregor immediately demanded a rematch.
He should have killed me when he had the chance, because now I'm back and I'm going to kill you and your whole team. You and their kids.
And this time he fought smart, managing distance, managing energy, refusing to brawl.
For the winner by majority decision, the Notorious!
5 rounds later, he won by majority decision in one of the most brutal, competitive fights either man ever had. That set up Eddie Alvarez for the lightweight title at UFC 205 at Madison Square Garden.
Tomorrow night I'm ready to go in, do my thing for my fans, everyone that's supporting me. Ireland, stand up. We're about to do it again.
McGregor didn't just win, he dismantled Alvarez, dropping him repeatedly until the fight was stopped in the second round.
Undisputed UFC lightweight champion of the world!
And then, instead of defending either belt, he walked away from the UFC entirely to box Floyd Mayweather.
Today, I'm not retired. I'm out of retirement for Conor McGregor today.
Mayweather was undefeated, widely considered one of the greatest boxers ever, and McGregor had never fought a professional boxing match in his life.
Strategically, I see Mayweather having a great time in there smiling, laughing while McGregor's trying to hit him and find him.
Almost nobody gave him a real chance. The promotion became one of the biggest events in sports history. Press conferences turned into global spectacles. And when the fight actually happened, McGregor surprised people early. He competed, he landed shots, he didn't embarrass himself. But Mayweather's experience eventually took over, and in round 10 the fight was stopped. McGregor lost, but he also became one of the highest paid athletes on the planet that year.
He took the shots early, and he took shots early. I cracked him with the left hand, and I saw him in a bit of panic, but he stayed very, very calm. That's just his years of experience.
The trade-off was steep, though. He'd been gone from the UFC so long defending nothing that the promotion stripped his lightweight title. He had 2 belts, then 0, and more money than almost anyone in the sport. That's the version of Conor McGregor most casual fans remember best. It's not the version that came next. When he came back, it wasn't to a tune-up fight. It was to the most personal, most explosive rivalry of his career, one that ended with a literal brawl breaking out inside the Octagon. And after that, things only got harder.
Khabib, the Eagle, Nurmagomedov!
Khabib was undefeated, suffocating, and feared by everyone in the lightweight division. The video you saw earlier of McGregor attacking a bus was the one carrying Khabib and his teammates. McGregor confronted Khabib multiple times in an attempt to make their rivalry more popular.
Just send me a message, let me know where, and that's it.
Instead of that, he was arrested and eventually had to show up in court.
He has been charged with multiple charges. They are all pending at this time. We're told that he is currently inside.
Despite that, the fight was booked for October 2018 at UFC 229.
I don't
Smash me, mate. Smash me. Smash me.
I can
You say send location. Here it is, right here in front of you.
Coincidentally, that was exactly 100 numbered UFC main events before his return against Max Holloway.
Well, if you bet that the fighters would not touch gloves, cash those tickets, and wherever you are in the world tonight.
Khabib's wrestling completely smothered McGregor. He couldn't find space to strike, got taken down repeatedly, and in the fourth round was submitted with a neck crank.
Nope, it's on the chin.
There's the tap! Still undisputed! Khabib Nurmagomedov!
Then the real chaos started. Khabib jumped the cage and went after McGregor's teammate outside the octagon. A brawl broke out between both camps inside the cage at the same time. It became one of the most chaotic post-fight scenes in UFC history, and both sides faced disciplinary action. For McGregor, the loss proved something uncomfortable. Elite wrestling could completely neutralize his game. It was also the first time fans watched him get clearly, decisively beaten.
I've been inactive the last couple of years, and I want to get more active, you know. I'm in my prime, 31 years of age, just turned.
He came back over a year later against Donald Cerrone at UFC 246, and it was brutal and fast. Shoulder strikes in the clinch, then punches and kicks that ended things in 40 seconds. A dominant return. But Cerrone had been struggling beforehand, and fans wanted to see McGregor against real competition again. That meant a rematch with Dustin Poirier, the same Dustin he'd knocked out in the first round back in 2014. This version of Poirier was a completely different fighter. At UFC 257, Poirier stayed patient, chopped McGregor's legs apart with low kicks, and knocked him out in the second round.
Dustin Poirier has knocked out Conor McGregor!
It was the first knockout loss of McGregor's entire MMA career. The two agreed to run it back a third time.
Tomorrow night, I'm going to make this man pay with his life, and I mean it. You're dead in that octagon tomorrow night.
McGregor was furious after the second Dustin Poirier fight. He immediately demanded a trilogy and got it at UFC 264 in July 2021. After a competitive first round, McGregor suffered one of the most gruesome injuries in UFC history, snapping both his tibia and fibula before the round ended. The fight was stopped, and that single moment kept him out of the octagon for the next 5 years.
Well, I never thought I would make another Conor McGregor fight video, but here we are.
But he is here, and he is going to fight for the first time in 5 years.
It's going to be bananas. I mean, people are going to go crazy for the return of Conor McGregor because he's a giant personality.
And after 5 long years, we're finally here, less than a week away from McGregor's return. 13 years after his first fight with Max Holloway, they're about to run it back once again. Now the big question is simple. Can McGregor really pull it off this time? Let me know what you think in the comments.